Okay, good morning and welcome to Shulchan Aruch Yomi. Today we will be concluding our 8th week, thank God, of Shulchan Aruch Yomi. We're doing Siman Mem 40, which is exactly how old I am, 40. There's 8 Se'ifim, so I turned 40. Yeah, Eliyahu was shocked that I'm 40. How old are you, Eliyahu?
I'm good.
Ben Kamata?
22.
He's 22, I'm 40, so
You're 40.
where were you in Siman Chav Beis? Siman Chav Beis was your Siman. All right. Anyway, I'm 40. So this is for my age. I guess I'm a little like 1/8 of the way into the year. So Sif Aleph would be my Sif. Let's get into it. Also, litlos tefillin bein babatim bein ratzuos. You're not allowed to hang your tefillin. It's disgraceful to hang your tefillin. Imagine hanging your tefillin. You take your tefillin as a hook and you put them. Even if you put the box on top of the hook, and certainly if you put the ratzuos and you hang it, that is a bizayon. The Gemara says someone who's told his tefillin, his life will be on a hook. Aval mutar litlosan bekisan. If they're in a bag, they're in their pouch, so then you can put that on a hook. That's not a bizayon, because that's normal. Beis. Bayis sheish bo tefillin asur l'shamish bo mitaso. This doesn't mean a house. It means the room. The room that you're in, you're not allowed to have tashmish hamita. You're not allowed to be together, a marriage relation with your wife. If there's tefillin there, uncovered, you take them out of the room, or you put them in a klito kli. Now the bag that it's in is one kli. You have to put another kli. If it's normally in 2 bags. Sometimes a lot of people have 2 bags. They have the felt or material bag inside, and they have the plastic on the outside. It doesn't count. It's normally in those 2 keys. You have to put in another key, an extra one that's not normally used. It has to be the second one. It's not normally used, and then you can leave it in your room uncovered. If they're all used for it, even 100 kisim, you want to really protect your tefillin. You have to open 100 zippers. It's still considered 1 kiss. You have to cover it with something else. If both of them are not used for it, even if the inside one is not in the yuchad, you put it. Take a plastic bag, you put it in the inside of your pouch, wrap around your tefillin, that would be okay. The reason you're not allowed to have tashmish hamita within the room is considered a disgrace to tefillin tashmish hamita. There's nothing wrong with tashmish hamita. There's nothing wrong with sex, but to do it in the same room as uncovered tefillin is considered a little bit of bizayon to the kedusha of the tefillin. Tefillin are tishmisha kedusha. They're strict in geniza. I have to one day explain why it's a bizayon. If it's a mitzvah to have sex with your wife, so why is it a bizayon? Gimel afilu lahaniach bekli toch kli asher lanicham tachas margalosov. If you're sleeping in your bed, right, and you want to put it in 2 kalim, right? One of them is not normally used, right? You can't put it underneath your feet. That's a bizayon. Let's say you have 2 pillows. You can't put it on between your pillows, even if it's not directly underneath your head. Afilu bekli toch kli, even if it's in 2 kalim. Afilu ein ish talima, even if his wife is not in the room, he's not married, or his wife is not there, or his wife is in a separate bed. The need that they separate the bed. If it's not connected rosho, meaning let's say it's lying on the bed, it's on there as pillows, then it's mutter. If his wife with him in the room, so then if you want to put it on your bed, you need kli, because there's a chash that you might come to have tashmish with your wife, so therefore you need kli. She's with him in the same bed, but she's not in the mood for sex. Mikri ein ishto imo. The Shulchan Paskins, you can keep the tefillin in your room, because like we said before, if your wife is sleeping in the same bed with you, we're choshish that you're gonna lead to tashmish. People can get in the mood for sex any time. If she's not in the mood, if she's sick or something like that, so then you don't have to be worried about that. The Mishnah Bura, the Taz, is machmir, and he says we're always concerned. So therefore, even if she's not in the mood, you still have to have klito kli. Hey, well, anicham b'mita keneged sido dinan katachas margalosov. If you want to put it on your bed next to you, right, lie on your bed next to you, right next to you, that you might roll on top of them, then it's like putting on your feet, because you might end your body on top of them, which is a bizayon. Let's say it's hard to understand, but again, if you wear tefillin the whole day, which is recommended according to most poskim, you're supposed to be wearing tefillin your whole day. So if you're wearing them in the middle of the day, and you're in bed with your wife, and you're wearing a tefillin, and then you decide to have sex with your wife, and you had sex with your wife, you didn't take your tefillin off. Until you wash your hands, you shouldn't take your tefillin off. You should keep them on. Your hands obviously touched some private parts of you or your wife. So your hands are dirty, and you have to clean your hands before you touch your tefillin. Otherwise, it'll be designed to the tefillin. You don't have to clean off the carry. You don't have to clean off the semen, but you do have to clean your hands. Carry. Let's say you're sleeping, and you had a dream, a wet dream or something like that. Not with your wife. In that case, you're not with your wife, so we're not choshesh that your hands touch the dirty place. So therefore, it's not a bizayin to the tefillin. So therefore, take them at the bottom is a lot of kedusha. That's where the parshas are. Don't take them at the bottom. Take the ritzuos and take it off. Hagash, then you should clean off the semen and then wash your hands, and then you can put your tefillin back on. You're going into a meal, a regular meal, one of the 3 meals of the day. Maybe it means a fancy meal. You shouldn't be wearing your tefillin during the middle of the meal because a lot of times people have drinks, wine, beer, hard liquor. They're having it, and therefore you're going to have a hezek hadas when you have your tefillin on. Azban barocha. Until benching comes, you're not going to drink anymore. Benching, you put them on for benching. You're just having a snack. Mishnah Berurah says kibetza. You're eating bread. You're having fruits is always a snack, or you're having cookies is always a snack. But if you're having bread, at kibetza, 2 kazesim. If you're having more than 2 kazesim, then already it's considered sudas kvak, permanent suda, and you have to take your tefillin off. If not, so generally you have a light snack. You're not going to have booze with that. So therefore, we're not worried about hezek hadas. That'll be the conclusion of today's shir. Stay tuned for Ian on Shulchan Aruch, where we're going to talk more about Geniza over here. We mentioned that the tefillin, when they're in the room, when you're haftash shamita with your wife, you have to cover a kli b'sel kli. The Mishnah Berurah adds on that you even, not just tefillin, but also any sefer, a common sefer, a gemara, a chumash that's printed nowadays. Of course, it's printed, right? It's printed with the ink of a printer, right? Also, you need kli b'sel kli, and it's also to be tashrish amita with those things, unless they're b'sel kli, you remove them. Should they be equated or not? Mishnah Berurah equates it to, I don't think so, according to my opinion. Stay tuned for Yashachar, where I explain my opinion.